Football movie. Well, young people, let me let you know that this movie, Remember the Titans, is not about football. It is about some incredible young boys in Alexandria, Virginia, who somehow were able to put their differences aside, and by doing so, they taught the world how one can accept the soul of an individual rather than reject an individual based on the color of their skin. And that young people take respect to where respect becomes the emotional glue that tends to bind all colleges and universities and even communities together. This movie was written about these young men when America was undergoing some of its most stressful times in the history of our country. And I know many of you were probably too young. I hope you were. But your parents remember that during the late 60s and early 70s, our country was heavily involved in the most unpopular war the world has ever seen, the Vietnam War. Our country was involved in the Pentagon Papers, the busing to achieve integration of our schools. Our soldiers were involved in the senseless shooting of our Kent State University students exercising their God-given right to protest. Many people had to march in the streets of our country, and they sat in at lunch counters, and many even died, young people, just for the right to have a cup of coffee in a public restaurant. And in 1971, to add fuel to this already volatile situation in Virginia, the city of Alexandria was under federal court order to completely integrate the school 40 years even after the Supreme Court outlawing segregation